Hello, I'm John Joe. Welcome to Lime War. Today we have Wishmaster, who sounds like a genie versus a god of cream. God of cream is getting a good start on this. He has a industry already. He's got 2 factories, a barracks, and an airfield. Whereas Wishmaster is going for 1 town. He's setting up his lines. He's a bit slower on this at the minute. Maybe trying to plan out what he was going to do. Looks like he claimed only 1, 2, 3, 4 lands, I think. 4 territories, maybe 5. We've got, actually, we can count as groups of units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 5. So he did leave 1 out to get some extra cash going. Got some industry up and running now. And he's getting his barracks going with a 1 factory. So, over here, God of Cream is also going for some industry right now. And the map is a bit strange. This is a very lakey map. We got the lakes going across like that. And Wishmaster is down here, if I remember correctly. Yep, in the forest. God of Cream is up there, so it's going to be a while till they actually engage with each other. Got a factory there and being built. Both players choosing to build in a forest. And that is for the stealth that they'll have. If they're too close to each other, it's good to have some stealth. We're going to speed up the time a bit just to see how long it takes for them to engage. God of Cream looks like he's worried about air units, so he's building up a lot of anti-air to start with. And he's going for commandos in his barracks and strikers for air units. Getting the town up and running, knowing that the enemy is a bit further away than first thought. And Wishmaster is going for some artillery along with his infantry on the ground, which means he might be vulnerable to those strikers that we saw earlier. It looks like he's got a very coordinated way to capture the territories. Go down one route, separate off, separate off. It's like he's mining in Minecraft. Those artilleries are heading off over this way. Unfortunately, though, artillery don't claim territory that fast. You've got to remember we're in ×2 speed, but the infantry will gather the territories a lot faster, and it seems like he's setting up his lines as soon as they, like, by the time they complete it, rather than setting them up all in one go, which I'm assuming, yeah, here we go. So, we have got a Cream who's got his line set up, and as soon as they finish that, they'll move on to the next one, and they'll move down here, and you can see the flow of units all going towards this location, no matter where they start on the map, or they're going up into the north over this way. And from here, he's setting up the lines to go around there, and I'm assuming they'll curve around there, there, and come through this way, go that way. And we do have commandos running off all the way up here to try and take out some territories in the back. He's trying to find the enemy at this point. And if not, get closer to them. We have found the enemy, so God of Cream and Wishmaster is about to engage over in this location. We do have a fairly sizable force of artillery, which are going to be very good at taking out these infantry, especially in the mountains. God of Cream's reaction is to try and avoid the front line of these artillery, and I should slow this down now. There we go, back to ×1 speed for a bit. The artillery are right at the front now. They are set up quite nicely here. They are just giving chase to these infantry. He's using the arrow commands to try and get there faster. But I think by the time they deploy, the infantry are going to be out of range, so artillery are probably not the best units to give chase, but they are good as a frontline defense. We are mixing the blue commands with orange commands, but at this point, when it's so early in there, you don't need to worry about it. Just get them to the front lines no matter how. Unless you're trying to use the blue lines over white territories, like the commandos are up here. They're going to be engaging soon if God of Cream doesn't spot this and try to move them around, because you do not want your commandos to be spotted in this situation. But to be fair, the stealth is actually holding up, so you can... Oh, there we go. We can now see the commando. And they're going to get shot at by 4 riflemen there, and they're going to definitely win that engagement, especially in this situation where you got 1 against 4. But if God of Cream spots this, he could escape and go down this route instead. But I don't think he's going to spot it in time. Those commandos are going to go down. Over in this section of the map, Wishmaster is definitely pushing through over here. He's found the enemy's base. And he is definitely going to be targeting that. But the strikers over here, and they have an energy well, so they're going to be fully supported with energy. Got 2 energy wells by the looks of it. And those strikers are easily going to be able to take out Wishmaster's artillery over here. Would like to know if he does do a response, changes in... Yeah, he does. He's spotted them already. He's got some SAM units being built. He's even built an airfield across this water. That's a very smart move to try and do that. If God of Cream spots that airfield, though, he might end up targeting it before Wishmaster can actually do anything with it. Wishmaster. I keep saying Maker. Sorry, Wishmaster. Still nearly done it. The infantry are pushing through after those artillery got pushed back by the strikers. And they are going to form a line in the mountains here. And to be fair, I would generally prefer to put these over here because the mountains will slow down your units, especially when you're using artillery. If you're using infantry, definitely just get them on the front line. But if you've got artillery, you want them a bit further back so the enemy is slowed down across this area. Up over here, it looks like God of Cream is sending his units through. He's going to pretty much take over this area with those units. And Wishmaster is getting a barrack set up so he can take over the territories this direction a bit faster. Though he has forgot to set the lines up again, which is leaving his units here doing very little when they could be capturing these territories here, catching up to God of War. God of Cream, sorry. I'm not getting any names right today. Right, so Wishmaster is on 1,150 at this point in the game, whereas God of Cream is on 870. So despite me pointing out Wishmaster's inability to get the units at front lines quick enough, like where he keeps on forgetting them or losing track of them, because he is focused a lot down here as well, he is actually ahead when it comes to economy, mostly because of territory grabbing, or it's because of the city here. So I think that's mostly what that's about. And God of Cream doesn't have a city yet, but he probably will build one soonish. If he can get the eco up and running for it. He's got the 2 industries there. Where's the other one? Oh, it's there. Across the water. So he needs to get that other industry up beforehand, so I don't think he plans to, otherwise he'd have it built by now. There's a helicopter coming over, which I think that's a very early release of those helicopters. He's got 3, I suppose, so that's not too bad. And he's going to circle this area to try and get these structures and any units they can find. And to be fair, helicopters can fire their missiles at the strikers, so they might actually be able to take out a couple of strikers. However, the helicopters are going to get shot at by 3 strikers at a time. Hit this one here. He was smoking just then. Through damage. As we can see, some SAM units pulling up on the front line here to take on these strikers, but 3 strikers against 1 SAM unit is easily going to go in favour of the strikers. We do have quite a sizable force from God of Cream. He's building up a tank army over here, and he's building up the storage to use them for a long period of time. Over in the north there, it looks like Wishmaster is going to try and grab the territories over here, or trying to move up through this area. So it looks like God of Cream might be able to get here faster, and then be able to take over the territories behind him, which is usually the best way to do that. Over here, though, I think Wishmaster is trying to use the cover of the mountains to go through this area. Fortunately for him, though, it has been spotted, and God of Cream is sending his units through there to take him out. And the helicopters have been responded to. The SAM units are moving in over this area. Stop those helicopters doing too much damage. Might have been better to save them up until you got a bigger force to deal with, so you can even deal with the response that comes through afterwards. strikers are coming in now, and his response to that is some interceptors as well as the SAM units on the ground. But there aren't many SAM units on the ground anymore because the strikers keep taking them out before they can build up in large enough numbers. The helicopters have switched over and they're attacking in this location now to try and stop any of these artillery becoming too much of a problem, but Wishmaster has a fairly sizable force in this area, and the only thing stopping them from progressing are the strikers. But they're moving forward anyway because the strikers will still be able to reach them. The interceptors moved in to tackle these strikers. One of them goes down. And that interceptor will come and cross paths with these guys again, I think. There we go, it's firing again at one of these strikers. There we go, one more goes down. And there's another one over here being hit by a helicopter then. The interceptor rejoins the engagement. Oh, if it could fire again, it would have took it out, I think. There we go, he's only using his miniguns right now. He might be out of missiles at this point, I don't know. No, I think it did just fire one. A bit too close for me to properly tell. So, Wishmaster's trying to apply the pressure here, but I think God of Cream's finally sending his forces through. He's still building up his tanks, but he's sending in more units to go and cover this area. And that striker's about to go down from the interceptor and helicopters, but it does make it out of there alive. Up in the north section here, God of Cream is progressing through this area, and he will start capturing lands here. You can see that Wishmaster's moving down this way. And we're building up some production over on this side. That way they can start funneling through this way as well, applying extra pressure. Saving these tanks, especially with the helicopters in the area, does need to have essentially bring those SAM units down to this corner here, because if the helicopters come through here, they'll still fire at them, and they might catch some strays off in this location here. Building up some more air units with those airfields there. Now both players are going to start engaging here, and there'll be another choke point that both people will have to balance out in order to stay alive. It looks like God of Cream wants a lot of tanks over here because he's got 3 lines set up for them, so I think he's waiting for that to fill up, but I think he's turned off the production of his tanks. So, economy-wise, both players seem to be fine, so I'm not sure why that's happened. He might just be worried about the energy, but he's got quite a lot of that as well. Wishmaster is heavily going into air units. We've got a lot of these units here. We've got 4 airfields. These helicopters could be doing something as well. So you can send them off over here, which is in their range, and then they'll be able to jump again into the battle over in that direction. Up over here, it looks like the engagement's happening once again. We've got helicopters apparently being called in there. And it looks like Wishmaster is winning the first initial fight over there, but we do have more units streaming in. Not too many. It might be enough to hold him back. But now it looks like God of Cream is happy to just sit back for a bit and let the units do their job. And he's holding down the line here. He could send in the strikers over here because he hasn't got a lot of anti-air there that we can see. We'll have a quick look from his perspective. Got an interceptor there, and he does have 2 in the mountains, so I think that's what he's concerned about. Straying off some units to try and take over the territories that he now can grab. The strikers are moving in to see what they can find. God of Cream can see the SAM units over there. The interceptor is joining in with these strikers, which will help take out these interceptors as well. And it looks like the strikers were able to come out victorious on that. They control the air once again, and the SAM units are moving in, which is going to present a problem for these strikers if they don't stay in a group to take them out. Up here, though, the infantry is still squabbling over this one little territory here, right between both players. I think God of Cream is going to come out on top there now, but I don't know what Wishmaster has behind him. Not enough by the looks of it. He does still have a group of units here that could join in. We have another interceptor over here which will help try and fend off these strikers, but if the interceptors come in with the strikers, this one won't last much longer. However, it's straying off towards these SAM units and it is going to take them out instead. I'm really surprised that survived then. There was quite a lot of missiles fired at that interceptor, but it is going to stay in the area. I think it might end up landing to rearm. There we are. Both players are familiar with this area, but Wishmaster is sending in a helicopter which will easily help fend off these infantry, because there aren't really enough of them and there's not any anti-air, but we do have a group of artillery coming in. And if these helicopters build up, it'll be very difficult for God of Cream to try and push through this area. Wishmaster is going for an attack again down in this area over here, and God of Cream is having to put up a really strong defense, bringing in some units from the side, but he can't take on these artillery here that are already there. But both players are mostly focused on this area of the match right now. But God of Cream has been distracted by this. He has got a group of units which could be increasing his economy, going around collecting these territories, and another group here. Up in the north, though, it seems like neither player wants to send many units over in this direction. But just having extra pressure there could change how this ends up panning out. The air units have been called over for both players. However, interceptors are mixed in with more of these units from the blue player, so they might be able to take out these helicopters pretty quickly. And the SAM units have been moved down from this section down here to try and catch any of these stray units. And we've got some in the mountains here that are going to catch these helicopters right now. I think they're going to take heavy damages though, which is unfortunate. I think the helicopters are actually going to win that fight, but the interceptors coming in, try and take them out over the top of this battlefield. And it's straying off a bit too far. If I remember, there were some SAM units in the mountain. Actually, I'm looking for his eyes. There are no SAM units in the back of the base right now. Or the back of the army. And it's also not a bad idea to do what he's doing here. With these infantry going across the coast, not only are you just simply defending against any water-based attacks, you're also getting vision from so many units being there, reaching out over here, so Wishmaster can see quite far into the enemy's base. Whereas God of Cream can't really see as far into Wishmaster's base. I didn't spot where these tanks went. It just disappeared. Could have went through the north. But I don't think they have. I didn't spot where they went or where they died, or if they survived and got through, so I'm going to actually have a look. We've got a rocket coming in. Just quickly try and sneak across. Commandos are in the back of the base. We'll come back to that. So the rockets come in and taking out quite a few of these structures here. I don't know where that came from. That's in the forest here. He's got another one being built. But over here we have some commandos, which I don't think Wishmaster has noticed. None of the commands seem to have changed. So we know what's going on over there. The commandos were searching for energy wells. They found one. But this is a city, no, it can't be. Yeah, it is. City in the forest. Right here, and these commandos are right next to it. And if God of Cream spots that, I can imagine, there we go, I can imagine he's going to switch targets and go straight in for that. Exactly what I would do right now. But over here, it looks like the main force of God of Cream has been defeated. This massive force of artillery is moving forward straight towards this base, but it is going to take him a while to get there. So he could build up a decently sized army over there. He has spotted the city. He's moving around the towns, but he's definitely trying to get this energy well. I think that is to stop the air units. But unfortunately, I think he does have a couple of other places for energy. Unless it's just a lot of storage he's got. Actually, yeah, because the storage is 120. So he's got one storage and one energy well. So taking that out would actually be quite effective. There's the storage there. The units are pushing through between the mountains, through this valley here. Trying to get into the area there. He's got helicopters mixed in there. He must do, because that interceptor fired something. I can't see it. Ah, there you go. See the gunfire. But unfortunately, the interceptor took quite a lot of damage against these SAM units being held back. The commando is in the base there. I don't know if Wishmaster can actually see that commando. He can. He's lucky his line is actually trying to target it without him noticing, I think. I really want to see if that commando does do it. I don't think he will. He's being shot at. No, he doesn't get away with it. So, God of Cream unfortunately stopped at that point. Tanks are building up in numbers again, and I think I can see where the tanks were sent. You can see from this line they must have been sent down this way, which unfortunately the artillery must have been so large they took them out before they could really do too much damage, unless I just completely missed it. I don't know. Those original tanks that were lining up. God of Cream has spotted what's going on up here now. He does seem to send his units off instead of taking this territory here. There's a lot of territory that could be grabbed here. But instead, I think he's concerned about what's going on over here, and he's sending them that way. Unfortunately, he's being pushed back in this location here as well. Over from Wishmaster's perspective, he has a simple defensive line here, but it's being defended pretty much by the helicopters that are coming out. But unfortunately, it's not enough to be ran by just one energy refinery, which is nearly destroyed, by the way. Still on fire. It's going to be repairing soon, though. And with the amount of air units he's got, it is struggling to keep up, but the storage is what's allowing it to build up when they're not being used, and then to allow him to use them for a long time afterward. Which is exactly what both players are doing. The SAM unit's catching a helicopter off guard there, and another one's coming through. That's not going to last long there. He is taken out as well. They're going to fire again at this one, and they've taken out 3 helicopters. Just trying to fly it back over this ocean area. Fortunately though, it looks like we've got some tanks mixed in with these artillery, and they are pushing through really fast against the SAM units that are blocking the way, and the artillery, not the artillery, the air units, they're flying over the top. And every time they do, they come into the range of the SAM units, but they're back off the army, and they do get taken out. Even some units are coming in through this area to take out the factory production, but there is one artillery still holding them back. He switched his fire to this artillery, meaning the infantry might be able to take out this. And these guys are going to be trying to spread out to take on these structures. At this point, I would be trying to send off just at least a small group to go this way. Maybe a double line that way. Keep the rest moving up this way, because we don't want to spend too much time there. We need to take him out. We do have another rocket though, so Wishmaster can do a lot more damage at this point. Send it in over here to make this progress faster. And he has taken away his defensive line here, and he's planning to advance in this location. I imagine that's the rocket being sent off. Yes, it is. Energy warning came up, and it's coming off this way. pretty much didn't do anything. Took out one of the industries and damaged some structures, but those structures would repair. But unfortunately, that didn't really do what he was expecting. If he could reach, it might have been worth doing that, or it might even been worth doing that so he didn't have to stray a couple of units off. Either way, it looks like Wishmaster is progressing quite rapidly towards God of Cream's original starting location, and eventually might push through it, but God of Cream is bringing back quite a lot of units from the north, straight down to there, but unfortunately is leaving this area completely exposed. Even though he'll defend his main base, he's going to lose ground quite fast. Up in the north area here, we can see it's already being taken away by Wishmaster. And God of Cream's lost the factories down here that he had earlier. Another aircraft goes down over the mountains here. SAM units usually like to hide there. Nice and stealthy locations to catch the air units off guard. It looks like another one's heading that way. No, he's going to circle around there, but they are just slightly in range. No, they're not. They're not quite in range. That is quite a bit far, to be fair. And just as the units are getting to his base, his reinforcements are coming back through, and I don't think there's going to be enough to stop this army. But it might just hold him back for long enough. God of Cream is holding off some production, so he must be trying to do something somewhere. Structures are going down all over the place for God of Cream. It looks like Wishmaster's wish actually came true. And the omnipotent being that is God of Cream is not quite working out as well. But he does have something going on over here. I knew he had something going on somewhere else. So, although there is the fight going on over here, which looks like Wishmaster's wish is coming true, God of Cream has summoned a army over in the southern part of Wishmaster's base. And this is a lot of barracks. This will build up a sizable force very fast. He's going to continuously build barracks over here and take out God of Cream's main location. This must have happened when he started building those, the commandos got through over here. And that must have been what caused this. Didn't spot the territory being claimed. But now we have a lot of units coming through Wishmaster's base. And Wishmaster does know about this. He's got his units coming through. And Wishmaster's economy is really bad right now. I think he's lost that city, yeah. So the city's gone, and that's what's going to kill his economy. And although both players are going to lose their original base now, I don't think Wishmaster can keep up with the production that he's got and what he's going to be doing with it afterwards. Future, I think, is with the God of Cream. But he does have a bit of a way to go before that happens. God of Cream needs to build up a sizable force. But with infantry, I am a big supporter of a mass infantry rush at any point in the game. I absolutely love seeing this right now. How many barracks are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11 so far. And he is going to be able to control a lot of this area very fast. And Wishmaster hasn't really got anything he can do with it. He can't build anything. He's only got what he's got here. He is bringing a large force here, but this is... by the time that gets here, the force that will be here of God of Creams is going to be quite large and uncontrollable. At first I was assuming that Wishmaster was going to win this, and he still might. But now I think God of Cream has a very good chance, because these units are so slow. It is almost impossible to try and do a base trade with them if the enemy is not using them. But they are going to catch these units. These units are just going to slow this army down insanely. Fortunately though, Wishmaster is circling around the top. Not with many units, but will capture a lot of this territory, and that might give him a good eco boost. But these units are going to be stuck here trying to defend against these units that are streaming in. Even though these units don't stand a chance, this army ain't moving. We do have a separate army over here which needs to go around that way. Another thing he could do is this. They've got this army here. Bring them around that way. That rocket fire? I just heard the energy issue. Is it just general issues? Have a look at God of Cream. How is his army doing down here? I think, to be fair, Wishmaster is bringing in units from all over the place now. And I think at this point, God of Cream really needs to retreat these infantry, put them in a line, retreat these guys, put them in a line, and build up some forces before he sends them out. They keep going out like this. Unfortunately, God of Cream does not stand a chance. He needs to retreat and build them up into a large enough force to take out groups of artillery. Which he is just starting to do now. He's building up a nice line here and here, and he's got to do it up here as well. I think some are getting through, but the helicopters there, it's something you really have to worry about. Either they've got to try and strike this, which is what he's doing. Which is fair enough. If he's got to try and strike that, he's only got 4 units to do it with though, because these guys are attracted to this line right here. And that strike command's for commandos, I've just spotted. So, over here, God of Cream was struggling with that attack there because he wasn't building up the units large enough. He wasn't allowing them to do. He had to retreat a bit earlier, I think. But Wishmaster isn't focused on what's going on over here. He could have these guys moving towards that. He's more focused on what God of Cream's doing around his main location. When it comes to the infantry and artillery, which is going on over here, he's trying to send them straight in here. Well, he's not. He's trying to go around them, actually, I've noticed. Yeah, you really need to just get them straight into this location when they have a large enough amount of units. If they keep straying in slowly, one at a time, they're going to struggle. If they're running past them, they're just getting free hits on you. I was really looking forward to what was going on over here. I was hoping that God of Cream could come back in this, try and push through, but unfortunately Wishmaster did build up a large enough force over in this location, and I assume that he's going to be able to push through now. God of Cream doing a really good job of getting into the back of the enemy's base there, but unfortunately was unable to keep up with the enemy, and the attacks going on at his main base was a bit too much for him to handle as well. But at this point in the game, Wishmaster has pretty much won in the north, has won down here, and is taking over some territories to increase his economy, because he really needs to increase that economy. God of Cream has a very good economy and a lot of barracks. But unfortunately, Wishmaker is still pushing against him here. I think most of the activities going on over here right now. He does have those units right at the back of this energy wire, but I don't think energy is important. We've got the helicopters on the ground. But they're not really doing much right now anyway. And what is his... Yeah, that is his only energy. So if he does lose that, that is the last of his energy. The only problem is, it's this force here you really need to take out. The helicopters are off the ground right now. They are going to deal a lot of damage. So it is very important to take that out. I didn't realise how many helicopters he actually had. There we go, the energy goes down, the helicopters are losing out, they don't have their ability to launch anymore. That won't be permanent either, so if you can get your infantry to get into this area and take them out while they're grounded, that'll be the best chance you have to do it. Unfortunately for God of Cream, I do think this is his last stand, and if he doesn't plow through quick enough, he is going to struggle for the rest of the match. Those infantry that took out the energy well over here are going for the airfield now. God of Cream is losing some barracks over here, is unfortunate as he needs them quite badly to pull this off. He does still have quite a bit of eco coming through. He can buy a barracks literally every minute. And those 3 infantry are doing loads of damage right now. They've destroyed the energy well over here. They're over here now being fired upon by artillery and taking out this airfield. Don't know if they're going to be able to do it because there's only 2 of them now, but they might be able to catch that before the artillery can kill them. The energy well being built once again for Wishmaster. And once constructed, those helicopters will be able to launch again. And that would probably, if even without, would probably be the end of God of Cream. What did you guys think of this match? What could either player have done differently or better? Still have one structure over here left for God of Cream, but it's under heavy fire from artillery. And one random soldier over there just sitting, chilling. What could either player do? The infantry did take out that airfield. And if you've got your own replays, feel free to share it on my Discord or the Line War Discord, and I will check it out. Links are in the description. Feel free to subscribe, and yeah, thanks for watching. There are 2 videos on screen right now. Feel free to click one of them, and I'll see you there.